It's time. Get up, I get up. Lose focus, come on, be go get up. Gonna stay focused. Opportunities, gotta get busy, gotta fight
Sanibonani lapha emakhaya and a salute to all my hustlers. Ngitho lesibili bafethu ku SABC 1. Intandokazi yenu iSpani sikumabona kude bafethu. Igama uMacmillan Lishomo. Ngithi ake ngithemba ukuthi niphilile nivukile nomqemane. Esiqaphinisana namhlanje bafethu zabe sibheka ezempilo siphethe yena ke uNeerasha Ramsamy. Intokazi ke efisa ukuba iChiropractor. Uthi ke ukhule kanzima njengoba ke ukwabhekana nezinkinga lapha emndenini. Uthi usuka kude kodwa kuseduzane la aya khona njengoba ke anqinqoza lapha acela sona leso sikhundla. So uhlangana naye simazi kangcono sibuza ukuthi ungani ke akhethe ukwenza wona lo mkhakha. Ngithi girl uthi sticks and stones may break my bone but I have the hands to heal them. Asimbone.
My name is Neerasha Ramsamy and I'm originally from Boksburg. I was living in a place called Villa Lisa. That's basically where I spent a lot of my younger years.
The kind of child Neerasha was adventurous, excitable, always wanting to get her own way, but she had her own persona. I mean, she was a year old and climbing on my fence and sitting on top of the wall. I mean, she just did things that naughty children do. And it was good that she's naughty. I liked the fact that she was naughty.
I did have a disruptive and abusive, challenging childhood because I did have my father. When he was sober, he was the best he could be. He was like a normal dad, but the mix of alcohol and who knows what else just turned him into a different person.
My late husband was a good man, perhaps influenced badly at times. And the way I see it now, looking back, is that a lot of the things he did that hurt us indirectly, he didn't mean to, because he stated that to me as well.
My feelings towards my father was never really negative at the time. To this day, I can honestly say it's not negative as well. Just thinking about him as a person, I see him for the good that he is and what he's basically given me today, the lessons, the courage, everything that I've learned and taken with me. That's what I really value him for.
Well, Neerasha at a very young age developed very quickly. I mean, she started walking when she was 10 months old. She was talking when she was a year old. And she was better than everyone, and she was so ready for the next step in her life.
I seemed to be frustrated with the normal dynamics of being a 5-year-old, and it was as if I wanted to go to school and I wanted to advance further. So my mother wanted to send me to primary school, but they didn't allow us to start primary school anywhere close by because of my age, and I wasn't 6 yet. My mother's family friend, her best friend, knew someone that owned a school. He was a principal of a school, and he was willing to accept me in grade 1 there. So as a result of that, I ended up moving in with my mom's best friend, my aunt and her family, moving into a new household. I'm not sure whether it was my mom's plan, indirectly, for me to become or be exposed to something completely different or to a more nurturing environment. I definitely did see a difference between the two households. Unfortunately, my household was the disruptive one, where there was just too much tension to be able to really show love. You didn't really say I love you, you didn't say any nurturing things to each other. It was just somewhat known. When I moved back in with my family, it was just the same thing, if not amplified. It was almost like every single weekend was the same routine, and we'd all almost go into a defensive mode come Friday night. And I remember my brother would literally keep a cricket bat or something next to my mom's bed because we just didn't know when my dad was going to come home.
I did fear that my late husband might hurt the kids, but I also ensured that it wouldn't, you know, so if it ever had to happen, I was always there. and I protected my kids as much as I could.
At the age of 9, that was a time when I really started noticing that my dad wasn't as healthy as everybody else was. It's not that he looked ill at the time, he looked normal, and he just maybe not be as active as we were or not as involved in that sense. We were there for him and we were still very nurturing towards him. We cared for him. If he needed anything, we were there for him. And I thought he was going to get better. He wasn't getting better.
So my late husband's passing didn't come as a surprise to me. I started preparing myself psychologically, emotionally, a couple of years before it actually happened. And also the kids, tried to barrier them from the impacts of what was going to happen the best way I knew. And for me, it was about sheltering them and keeping them safe from what I knew was to come. And but the actual passing was extremely traumatic.
Well, being older now, I miss his presence. Just, having that father figure, having that person to joke with.
Well, Neerasha and her brother went to schools that I instrumented. I refused to send them to a school in Actonville. I wanted them to have the best when it came to education, and a Model C school at the time promised that.
And that's when I started joining athletics and shot put and certain things that I, funny enough, was just good at. At the end of high school, or close to finishing high school, I was really not sure what I wanted to do and what direction I did want to go to. I spoke to my mother and she sent me for psychometric testing. And basically they just sent me through a whole bunch of tests with shapes and maths and equations and I don't know exactly what, and they came up with a few different selections. One of those selections was chiropractic. So in December 2015, so last year, I worked at Marinus Chiropractic as a receptionist. So I'm hoping that when I go for the opportunity that I got, an interview tomorrow with Dr. Marinus, I'm hoping that it's going to go great. And I think we're going to work well together. So thumbs up.
And any practitioner out there would be blessed and should be proud to be working alongside my daughter. I wish her all the best, and I know she'll make a success of it.
Because I'm in my final year and I want to open up my own practice when I graduate, I've been job shadowing at Dr. Marinus, and today he's going to assess whether or not I am practice ready. Okay guys, I've just entered the Marinus Chiropractic facility and we're just waiting for Dr. Lionel Marinus to come in and interview me. I'm not sure what to expect, a little bit anxious, but I'm sure it will go as planned. Feeling a bit confident yet scared, so wish me luck guys.
Hello, Neerasha. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too,
How
Dr.
have you
Nan.
been going?
It's been going well. Very good, yeah.
Good, man. How far are you in the course now?
Almost there, just pushing through. We're going to get there soon, hopefully, yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
When I was in college, there was a great dropout rate, and for you to have reached this level is great.
Thank you so
well
much.
done. Congratulations,
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah, and what have you been doing since the last time you were here?
Well, the last time I was really inspired by, the way in which this whole practice runs,
Oh,
the interaction with patients, yes,
Yeah.
the babies coming in as well, and it just basically opened up my eyes, as to the possibilities when you
Yes.
have a practice,
Yeah.
and how you can actually go from all ages, literally from babies to older patients, and it can really be a family practice in that sense.
It's nice,
Yeah.
and good to have babies in your practice because you get nervous. First-time patients coming in, they don't quite know what to expect.
Yes.
And then they say, well, if you're going to treat babies, and the
How can
babies
you?
are okay coming out, I'll have a go at it. It's not
Okay.
so.
That's
So it's a
awesome.
good thing to have.
Yes.
And when you qualify, what do you envisage to do? Start your own practice, go into an established practice to get some experience?
Yes,
What do you like to do?
My main goal is to maybe start my own practice. It's just a bit daunting because I'm not sure, in which direction I want to go. I did feel like I had a lot of similarity with what I'd like to do with this
Yeah.
practice.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that I'd be able to get some guidance and be able to then stem on into my own practice and find my own facility.
Yeah.
But with regards to location and the way in which things work and all of that, I need help in that sense, yeah.
And we'll try to help you as much as we can. And which areas are you most interested at the moment?
Well, an area that is maybe close to home, just for traveling purposes, and just being able to be available at that practice at any time, and as well as have be able to go home when I need to, be flexible in that sense.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping somewhere there, but if not, if an opportunity presents elsewhere, I'm keen, depending on what is out there, who's established themselves when I do qualify, and what the demand is at the time.
Good. And since you've left your, apart from the college practical experience, have you experienced anything else?
What I've been doing since I came here is I did see the baby aspect of everything.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I'd seen enough babies, to be honest. So what I did is I took on a part-time job at a facility called Hydro Baby. What they do is, they do hydrotherapy for babies and infant massage afterwards. So that is new to South Africa. What it allows is for me to basically see as many babies coming in and out, working with them, doing uncomfortable tasks with them, but that just gets me the experience with babies, so that when I do open up my facility, I'll be able to be hands-on and confident in what I'm doing.
That's so clever of you, to branch out away from what you are comfortable with, to do that, so that you can refer there when you start practicing. That's very good. That's a clever move that. Yeah, good. Do you feel confident to start treating people now? You should be.
I do. I feel confident. I mean, there will be that one case where I feel like, maybe I don't know what to do, or I'm not sure. But that's when I can seek guidance and maybe try the best, trust my instinct, because a lot of the time that is where, you really do know what you're doing. You just need to believe in yourself in that sense.
You've touched on a very important aspect there, your instinct. You know, after 30 years here, I still get cases where I think, goodness me, what am I going to do?
Yes.
And then I just let my hands go, and the instinct will help you.
Yes.
If you got that, then you're onto a good thing there, because we deal with the different people, the whole spectrum of the public, isn't it?
Yes.
Nice people, mediocre people, and difficult people. So you've got to be able to control that. But very, very good. Wow, nice chatting to you again. And glad to see that you're doing so well.
Yes.
There are 3 tasks here, and get busy with the other 2, and we'll see you in the end again.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your time, eh?
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Neerasha o bulehile ka kelellong, o bua ka go itshepa le ka maikemisetso. Mahustlers, thuto e bohlokwa. Experience yona e go bontsha tsela. Thola se o batlang go se etsa bokamosong. O fumane experience. E thute tsohle o tsebe tsohle. Ha o se le comfortable ka mosebetsi wa hao, le tse ding tse tsamaisanang le mosebetsi, ke ka ho he o tla qalang wa bula practice ya hao kapa ya hao company. Ke hobaneng ha se ka mosebetsi fela, empa ka maitshwaro a business le maikemisetso a business. Lefapeng lena o hloka 4 to 7 years ya university. Maths le physical sciences di a hlokahala. Ha ile tsa maphelo di tla o thusa.
Abantu abaningi abafuna ukuzwa lutho uma kuza kwezempilo. Abanye ke bathatha umuthi wesilungu eminingi, abanye ke abawuthinta umuthi inhlobo nje. Abanye bethu uyesebenzisa ke imithi yesintu. Ngabe wena ke uyakholela ukuthi imithi yesintu iyasebenza? Ngabe ke uyazihamba izinyanga? Ngithi sitsheleni umcabango wenu khona lapha ku Twitter na ku Facebook njengamanje.
My name is Dr. Mike Marinus. I'm a chiropractor. I qualified in 2005 from the University of Johannesburg. Since that time, I've been working in Blegauri in a chiropractic practice, which I share with my father. And over the last 11 years of practice, I've developed a deep passion to work with families. So a lot of my time is spent with pediatrics, small babies, 2-3 weeks old, right the way through to 6-7 years old for different conditions, and then right the way up through the parents to the grannies and grandpas. I feel that chiropractic is a brilliant form of healthcare simply because we're not dealing with medication, and we're dealing with the fact that the body has this innate ability to be able to heal and regenerate itself. And as chiropractors, what we do is we spend a lot of time putting the body into the best possible position to be able to heal itself. Hi, Neerasha.
Hi,
I'm fine, and you? It's wonderful to have you here with us today. We're going to put you through 3 tasks today. All of the tasks have something integral to do with being a chiropractor. So the first task we're going to look at is taking a history. Now, taking a history of a patient is really important because we want to find out as much information as we can, not just about that primary symptom that the patient comes in with, but we also really want to know a lot about their health background. So I'd like, if you can, while you do the history, to focus in on their work. What do they do during the day? What kind of activity levels do they have? So we can get a nice rounded picture of the patient.
Perfect, sounds good.
Great. Right, I'm going to go and fetch the patient. We'll be back now.
All right, cool. I'll wait here.
In task 1, it's the history, and it's the gaining of information from the patient. But the most important part of task 1 is to show compassion. The idea is it's the first time we're meeting the patient. So the first part is to make them feel comfortable, because also if a patient's not comfortable, they're not going to open up to you with the correct information you need to get. The second part is you can get about 80% of the information you need to treat the patient just off the history. We're also going to ask things about their lifestyle. So knowing these things leads us to work a plan for the patient as well. The treatment also has a lot to do with after they leave, because we want to be able to give them exercises and stretches to keep them and maintain that integrity of their spine so that this problem doesn't recur.
Ngabeke uphethe umqolo amathambo ngithi hlala phansi unzinze ubukele uhlelo bafethu siphethe uvuka hlale bafethu ehasta lethi uNeerasha bafethu intokazi ke ifisa ukuba ichiropractor ihamba nementor yakhe laphana udokotela Marinus bafethu intokazi ke isizozilungiselela laphana ukuthi iqophe umlando wesigulane sakhe khona ke azokhona ukumlapha kodwa ngiyazi lapha emakhaya you are out of patient like a hospital which is empty bafethu so ngithi ngishaya ngento ke ezonishaya ngamathambo engqondo laphana bafethu which is our word jumble nginikeze iqhuba bafethu ngithi le ngizoyiza emathanjeni le thambo esikhuluma ngalo ke ilona ke elikhulu elide ephinde futhi eqinile ukwadlula wonke amathambo esinawo emzimbeni ngiphinde futhi nginikeze iletter ke ezonisiza bafethu which is the letter F. Uyazi kumele wenzeni uyalaphana ku Twitter na ku Facebook bafethu uqagele ukuthi eliphi legama esilifunayo ufake eyakho impendulo kodwa khona manje sihambe sobona intokazi laphana ithi kwazi kangcono ipatient yakhe khona ke izohlela ke i-treatment engamfanele engaphinde futhi iyenze ipatient yakhe ukuthi ilulame ngithi girlfriend go do your thing uyazi thina na Hustlers we've got your back.
Hi Hi there, how are you doing?
All right, yourself?
My name's Neerasha Ramsamy.
Kaz, hi.
Okay, nice to meet you, Kaz. Kaz, so you've come in with a problem regarding some sort of trauma that you've had. So what we are going to do with this process, I'm just going to find out what happened, ask you a few questions regarding that, and then maybe some lifestyle questions along the lines of what happened. Is that okay with you?
No problem.
Okay, cool. So let's get started.
Okay, so in task one, it's the history and it's the gaining of information from the patient. But the most important part of task one is to show compassion. Okay, the idea is it's the first time we're meeting the patient. The patient is generally 9 out of 10 times very sore and in a vulnerable position. So our biggest task is to make them feel comfortable. So the first part is to make them feel comfortable, because also if a patient's not comfortable, they're not going to open up to you with the correct information you need to get.
Can you tell me what's wrong? What happened?
A few months ago, I fell on my back steps.
You fell on your back steps, okay.
Yes, and I landed sort of under my shoulder blades and then just above my coccyx on the steps themselves, and I've had recurring lower pain. Yes.
All right. The main concern is that she had trauma. She fell down the stairs and she couldn't really recall exactly where she had hit her back, but that would mean that she compressed that area of her spine at the time. Can you recall the mechanism in which you fell? So did you like extend back or go to the side?
I took a step on the top step and my foot slid out and I landed flat on my back on the slope of the steps.
Okay, and was there any bruising or any alarming?
No major bruising that I could see, but a lot of pain.
A lot of pain, okay. Can I ask when exactly this actually happened?
It was about 5-6 months ago.
Oh, 5-6 months ago, so
yes,
it's quite a while. So why have you not?
It was treated briefly, but the pain seems to be recurring.
Okay,
and stiffness.
Okay, so the pain and stiffness has been there since the time you fell down?
On and off, yes.
Okay. Okay. And you said it's on and off. So when it does come, is it like constantly with you throughout the day, or does it actually disappear?
No, it's more
completely?
postural, I think, with regards to my job being a desk job. So I'm forever sitting in a single position. So it's very difficult to sort of stretch it out and...
Okay, perfect. So when I do see a patient for the first time, the first thing in my mind is I'm concerned because they do have a problem, and that's the reason why they've walked into your practice. But I'm excited at the same time. It's a new patient, it's getting to know somebody, it's a new case, it's new knowledge that I can learn and experience. From that point of view, yeah, it's exciting.
Yes.
Can I ask you what your occupation is exactly?
I work reception at a doctor's office.
Okay, that's interesting. You find that you seated all day, throughout the day?
Mostly, yeah. I work in the morning, so from about 8 in the morning till about 2 in the afternoon.
All right. So now we're going to go back to your pain in that sense. Would you say it's a type of a dull ache type of pain or a sharp pain when it comes?
As a chiropractor, my main mission is to make sure that the muscle, the joint, and the nervous system of the patient are working properly. Because the problem is if these aren't interacting with each other properly, it leads the patient into a position where they can start to degenerate the joints. It leads to a position where the immune system possibly doesn't work so well, and it leads to a position where they can't regenerate and they can't heal themselves as well as they should.
Does the pain move anywhere, perhaps?
It was extending down the side of my bum.
Okay. So does it just stop by your bum, or does it go all the way down?
No, it starts from about just above my coccyx and then goes down one of my legs.
Specifically on the right-hand side?
Right-hand side,
Only
yes.
that side, eh? I enjoy working with patients, and I enjoy actually going through the testing process with them and explaining to them everything I can, because I mean that's going to facilitate better healing for them. Because whatever I tell them in here, in this practice room, they'll be able to take with them. So if it's related to an injury, I can explain to them how maybe the mechanism of injury could have affected their spine, and this is what's causing the symptoms. Just giving them a better understanding of what's happening in their body and how their body is able to heal itself, and how I'm facilitating that process in their body. This pain going down your leg, does it stay with you throughout the day, or does it come?
No, it comes and goes. Yeah.
Do you know exactly what may be causing it to come? Standing up or bending forward? It just randomly comes?
Just randomly, yeah. Mainly when I'm sitting though.
Okay, so if you find when you're sitting for a long period and then you move,
it stiffens up, yeah, and then it goes.
Okay.
So your spine is literally the keyboard to your brain. And the idea is that all the switches move right up into the brain, and all those nerves move down into all organs and cells of your body. If that connection between the brain and the body is not functioning properly, and if those nerves have a bit of pressure on them, the messages from the brain to the body are not going through. But more importantly, the messages back from the body up to the brain are not being interpreted properly. This, over time, puts the patient at a disadvantage.
Sorry, this is a lot to write. Just want to make sure I get it right. When I first heard about chiropractic, I'd never been exposed to chiropractic. I'd never been to a chiropractor. I didn't even know the profession really existed in South Africa. I read up about it and I felt that I could relate to it. I felt that the whole thing about the body being able, the body's got the gift of healing itself, and all you're doing is facilitating that process by correcting any nerve problems or any type of compression in the nerve. That related to me, because I'm not really somebody that likes to take medication or do certain things on that way. I believe in eating healthy and trying to maybe do things from the inside out, and that's how we are healthy in that sense. So I felt it related to me. And you said you didn't go in, who exactly did you go and see when the trauma actually happened, and how did they help you at the time?
I came to see Marinus, the chiropractor.
Oh wow, what a coincidence. And now you're here seeing me. Okay, great.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to have a look and then we'll take it from there. If there is anything uncomfortable that you experience, just let me know and then we'll take it from there, all right?
No problem.
Perfect. Thanks, eh?
I think Neerasha did very well with task 1. I think she showed a lot of empathy for the patient, and I think she hit all the right marks when it came to finding out what do we need from this patient. What is the information we need to be able to move on to task 2? I was quite happy with her progress.
Neerasha o bonolo, o na le bokgoni ba ho botsa dipotso ene o tseba se a se botsang dipotsong tsa hae. Empa ha ka fumana mofuto kapa utlwello ha ne a bua le mokudi wa hae. Ho ne ho shebala fela o ka re ke interview. Ha o le Chiro, o lokela ho etsa mokudi wa hao a file a le bobebe hore a go tshepe hobane o ile bua ka mokudi ba hae. Seo o se etsa ka thabediso ya hao ya mmele le ka tsela e o buang ka yona. Dikhiro tsona di a lekola, di lokise, hape di thibele go se itekanela ha mesifa le masapo. Tseo kaofela ba di nka go tswa ko history ya mokudi. Ha se o fumane history ba ya fodisa, ba etsa seo ka go otlolla mesifa ba otlolle le masapo. Ko tasking ya hae e latelang re bona a sebedisa matsoho ha ile otlolla mesifa pele a ka otlolla masapo.
All right, Neerasha, now we're going to move on to task 2. It's going to be with the same patient, so we're going to follow on from the history that we've taken. Now we're going to do the assessment. What I'd like you to do is break it down into neurological assessment, orthopedic assessment, muscle testing, and then just general assessment of the patient. Again, we want to find out what's going on spinally, but we also want to find out the general level of health of the patient. Right, let's go through.
Perfect, let's go.
So task 2 is the assessment, and this is also very important because this is where we need to find out physically what's happening with the patient. So what will happen is we'll run through a couple of tests, neurological tests, orthopedic tests, and then we'll run through some muscle tests to find out what is going on, what has been damaged, and what we need to do as far as treatment.
Hello, guys. Okay, we're just going to do the assessments that we spoke about earlier during the history taking. And like I said, if there's anything that you are uncomfortable with during the process, please do let me know. Or if you are in a lot of pain, let me know as well, okay? Okay, so Mrs. Furry, I'm just going to get you to stand shoulder width apart. So you can just spread your legs a little bit. There we go, perfect. Are you stable like that? Mm-hmm. Okay, we're just going to start. I just want to see a general alignment of you, so you can just stand as natural as possible. And I'm just basically checking to see whether everything's level, if your shoulders are aligned, and everything's basically nice and straight on you. Okay, that looks good. So you are generally healthy in that sense. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Fourie. I'm just going to ask you to have a seat over there, and we're going to begin with the actual testing. So when I started the task 2, where I did the assessments, the first thing I did was just have a generalized view of her posture and her alignment, if there was any problems, or like maybe she was tilted to one side because of the pain, or just in general because of her posture. I'd be able to identify it that way. So I got her to stand against the wall, and I just looked at her back, and I used a few landmarks, like basically the level of the shoulders, the level of the shoulder blades at the back, certain joints as we're going down, all the way to the back of her knees, going down to her feet, just making sure that everything is in line and there isn't any problems that I could have picked up just by looking at her. So before I start, I'm going to do your blood pressure just to make sure that there's no concerning elevation or depression in your blood pressure. Okay, have you eaten today? Have you had breakfast? Perfect. Okay, so you can just relax for me. We're going to start with your right hand, yes. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to put your arm in your hand. Oh, this one's a bit strong. There we go. Just slide it in there. Okay. I'm going to secure this around. It's not too tight for you. Are you good?
No, it's good.
Okay, so you can just relax your arm there for me. Okay, let's take your blood pressure. She didn't look like she was in pain moving around during any of the processes, which is always a good sign. We got her to take blood pressure, which is always generally something we like to do in the beginning, just to make sure that there's no underlying issues systemically, so sort of with the organs in the body, or just maybe she could be fatigued from not eating, or something that we should, bear in mind during the process. Okay, so what I'm going to ask of you now, you're basically going to sit down with your eyes closed. I'm going to test your sensation, so your dermatomes. I just want to see if you can feel the sensation, and it's the same on both sides. So you're going to just sit like this with your eyes closed. Tell me if you can feel the sensation on both sides. Okay, can you feel that?
Yes.
There we go. All feeling
Yes.
fine? Equal on both sides?
Equal both sides.
Okay, so I'm moving down to your legs now.
All right.
Feel everything?
Yes.
All as well. All the way down to your toes.
All the way down, yes.
Okay, that's great. That's great news. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to test your muscles, your myotomes.
All right.
Okay, we're just going to basically have you in positions, and what you're going to do is resist my movement. So when I try to move you this way, you're going to try to resist that movement, okay? So push up for me. Perfect. All right, and push down for me. Okay, so you are quite strong. You got some good muscle tone there, which shows that you're quite healthy in your upper limbs. All right, we're going to do the same thing down to your legs.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to push your thighs out. When looking at myotomes, which is I tested the muscle strength and I got it to basically push against me, we're basically also testing the nerve's innervation to the muscle. So the nerve that supplies the muscle gives it its action, and we want to see when we ask the muscle to do a job, like resist against it, can it respond? Is it fast enough? Can it hold that pressure for at least 5 seconds? And that will just basically give us an indication of the muscle strength and its ability to respond to an action. And that's literally the brain talking to the nerve, telling the muscle to contract now. So that's what we're testing. All right, so the nice thing is that I can see that your muscle strength is good. You're responding quite nicely to my testing. Dermatomes, myotomes, I'm going to do reflexes. I'm just going to get my reflex hammer. Alright, so with reflexes, I need you to be as relaxed as possible. We just want to see how your nerves are responding. Okay, so you might have a twitch or not. There we go. Awesome. Quite reflex. There you go. Some nice reflexes here. Okay. Good. Just relax for me. Good stuff. Okay, we're going to move down to your lower limbs. Okay, so I need you to sit and just let your feet dangle. Perfect. Okay, we're just going to keep going there. Nothing. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now that we've tested your dermatomes, myotomes, and reflexes, we can see that you're actually responding quite nicely. Your muscles are responding nicely to the treatment as well. You've got good strength, good muscle tone. We're going to move on to the orthopedic tests. So what that's going to entail is you're just going to lay down there on your back, face up, and then I'm going to explain the procedure to you, okay? Are you okay? Go ahead. Perfect. Okay, Mrs. Fourie, from your history taking, you told me that you fell on your back. And that could have involved an extension type of movement when you were falling on the stairs. So we're going to go further testing just to see where exactly is the pain. Okay, so we're going to move over to your sacroiliac joint tests, starting off from your left hand side as well. So I'm going to ask you to make a figure of 4 for me. Okay, and I'm just going to stabilize your hip joint. Is there any pain when I push down on here?
No.
Nothing at all, eh? And go to the other side. Alright, so I'm going to make a figure of 4 with your right hand side. Okay, I want you to tell me at any point if you do experience pain.
There's a bit of pain.
Okay, where exactly is the pain?
In my hip.
Sort of going up into your back?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
extending up.
Okay, so now that is a positive for sacroiliac joint pain. So what we will do is treat you for that. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you to sit up for me. Perfect. Are you okay with that? Great.
So task 2 that Neerasha went through is a difficult task. It's something that takes years and years to perfect. I haven't got that perfect yet because it takes a lot of skill and a lot of development of that skill to be able to get there. For where Neerasha is starting off, I think she did phenomenally well. I think she handled the patient very well, and that again is one of the most important parts of an assessment. She explained to the patient what we were doing, why we were doing it, and the patient had a good idea of why she was doing the things that she was doing. She got all the tests done correctly, she got, as far as I could tell, and she got the information. And that's the most important, because now, with the correct information, we can now move forward into the treatment phase.
Ke rata ka tsela e Neerasha a ntse a tlotlisana le mokudi wa hae ha ntse a sebetsa. Seo se etsa hore mokudi wa hae a ska bana le letshoho. Empa o sebedisa mantswe a technically a tibileng ha ntse a lekola. Ho bakudi ba bang o tla tlameha ho a hlalosa ka puo e utlwahalang kapa ka puo e bobebe. Ha a sa kgone o lokela ho supa se a buang ka sona. Dikhiro di lokela ho bana le bokgoni ba ho bona mmele o sa itekanelang. Ba bana le menwana e tielletseng hore ba kgone ho otlolla. Haholo ba bana le sepheo ka seo ba se etsang. Tje ka rona kaofela ma hustlers re lokela hore re bane le sepheo ka seo re se etsang maphelong a rona.
Okay, so we've been through task 1 and task 2. We've taken a history and we've done the assessment, and I'm pretty happy with your diagnosis of a sacroiliac dysfunction.
Yeah, perfect.
So let's move from there into task 3, which is going to be the treatment. So I would like you to have a look at that sacroiliac joint. I would like you to massage through the muscle around that joint. If we need to do some release on that muscle around there, I think that's quite important. I'd like you to do some mobilization on the joint, just to allow it to be a little slightly more open and allow for better biomechanics of the area. I'd also like you to take Mrs. Furry through some stretching and strengthening, because that's going to help her recovery and her progress.
I agree, yeah.
Task 3 is going to be the treatment of the patient. Now, treatment is generally broken down into a couple of sections. So generally we want to look at the muscle, we want to look at the joint, and we want to look at the nerve, because those are the 3 things that as chiropractors we operate with. So we'll do some soft tissue, generally we'll do some stretching, give some exercise, and then we'll provide the patient with some manual therapy.
Matsoho mangwele mulala le minwana mshoma hustlers ngiyamthatha ngiyise crash bafethu kodwa asidlali sikhuluma ke ngomkhakha obaleka kakhulu bafethu samba nasta lethu lefisa kuba yichiropractor bafethu usebenza ngokulula imiqolo uthi yena ukhethe kahle ngabe ni lapha emakhaya nikhethe kahle lapha kuwe jumble legama silifunayo bafethu ngiyonikeza one more clue, which is the letter M bafethu ngoba legama leli limfishane kakhulu ake ngithembe ukuthi izokhona ukunceda uma ke sibuya emva kwekhefu sibona ukuthi ngabe into inaye a strong backbone ukumela lesikhundla asicelile. But right now, let's not break our backs, Buffett. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Okay, Mrs. Furry, we're going to do the treatment now that we spoke about earlier. What I'm going to get you to do, I'm going to position you on the bed. So you're going to lay on your tummy with your face down here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put a pillow for you just to provide you with more comfort. Okay, so you can lay down for me. Right, you're going to rest your arms there. Yes, are you comfortable like that?
Yes.
Perfect. So before we begin, I just want to check your generalized leg length. So that's just comparing your left and right legs to see if there have been any changes detected from your injury since you said it was about 5 months ago. Okay, so I just want you to relax. I'm going to just tug on your legs gently. You can hold on the bed for me. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, there is a slight difference between your left and right leg. So that just means that your body has made changes and tried to cope with the fact that you had an injury. it's compensated for the changes, and therefore it's held your posture in a different position for so long. So that should correct itself when we give you stretches and strengthening exercises at home, and will help you try to maintain a normal position when your body corrects itself. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the treatment.
Personality traits to being a chiropractor. I think the first most important thing, you have to genuinely love people. I think if you don't, it's something that people see straight away, and I don't think it's the career for you. You really have to have a burning passion to be part of people's lives, to be able to take their life and let them live the best life that they can via the treatment that you give them. I think you have to be outgoing. I think at times you have to be tough, honest, if you get what I'm saying. You have to be able to tell them, look, it's not what you want to hear. I have to be able to give you what you need to hear to be able to progress with your health.
We're just going to check your muscles and see if there is any pain linked to the pain that you're getting on the side. Okay, it's a bit sore there.
Not too bad, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I do feel some muscle spasm. So we're just going to try and work that out there. If it is too sore at any point, just let me know, okay? I'm going to get you to bend your leg for me. Go. Okay, so with regards to my own well-being and health and fitness, I'm not one of the biggest, strongest girls out there. I'm quite small, petite. So I do spend a lot of time in the gym. Do some weights or whatever training I need to do to be strong enough. But a lot of the time it boils down to technique. You can always use the patient's body weight against them, so you use gravity to help you, and that does help, but then at the same time you need to be strong enough to support them, so you never ever injure a patient or have them fall off the table because you can't support their body weight. So yes, strength is very important, and at the same time I think it links in with chiropractic, because if you're healthy and you sort of a good role model to your patient, you'll find that you'll be able to relate to your patient with regards to, you know, what you expect of them, because you've been there and you've done it and you are doing it. So it's always easier for a patient to relate to you that way if they can see you also somebody that prides in what you preach. Yeah.
That's a bit tight, yeah.
Okay, I definitely do feel. Okay, so I'm just going to ischemic compress the area. By ischemic compression, I basically mean identifying the spasm in the muscle, so the knot that's formed in there. So the knot refers to the part of the muscle that's not receiving enough blood circulation. And that's why it will go into spasm. So by putting pressure into that region, I'm allowing for blood circulation back into the area, and that will basically eliminate the problem that started off. Are you okay with this pressure? Are you okay?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's going to get better. Good. Okay, so after all the soft tissue that we've done, and I feel that the muscle has relaxed quite nicely, I'm just going to turn you around and we're going to go through the stretches and the strengthening exercises that we spoke about, okay?
All right.
I'm just going to do that there. All right. Okay, so I'm going to get you to get off the bed slowly for me, and then you're going to turn around onto your back. No, I'm good? Okay, so you can lay down for me. Make sure that your neck is nice and supported in that region there. Are you comfortable like that?
Yes.
Do you feel a little bit more relaxed with the muscle therapy
It does
that
feel
we
a
just
bit
did?
looser in the hips.
Okay, I'm glad. Okay, so we're going to start off with a stretch. The thing that's important about stretching is it just helps your muscle function properly. Okay, so with regards to all the tests that we did, the diagnosis that I would come up with would be something involving the sacroiliac joint. So a sacroiliac joint dysfunction, because we did find that the joint on the right hand side wasn't really moving properly, or normally should we say, and maybe sort of going into a sacroiliac joint syndrome, because she did have muscle involvement and pain going down that leg as a result of the fact that she had the joint not moving properly. She also had a difference in leg length because of the fact that the joints were locked or in a funny position, not equal to each other for so long. So the body did compensate in that sense and try to, adapt to the fact that there was a structural change at that point. I did do some mobilizations and things to try and open up the joint and to get it moving properly. So we're hoping that everything will self-correct.
Right, you've gone through all the 3 stages.
Yes,
Interesting?
very interesting.
Did you? Dr. Mike gave me some nice feedback there, and you had some good input there.
I'm glad.
Yeah, man. And in future, what do you intend doing? Going into existing practice to get some experience, or straight away into your own practice?
Ideally, I'd like to go start off my own practice.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit nervous, a bit anxious because I'm not sure what it entails, what the process is. But I'm hoping to get some guidance from you guys with regards to that.
You can count on that. And confidence there.
Thank you so much.
I don't think I had that kind of confidence because, I started studying at the age of 35 and I came back here and I was 40 already.
Sure.
And I don't think I had that kind of confidence. But well done.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Rasha, it's always been a pleasure chatting to you. The help that you gave us here, we'd like to reciprocate sometime. And if you need any help in the future, we'll always be available.
Thank you so much.
Okay, good.
Thanks, eh?
Thank you very
Awesome.
much. Bye.
Bye. Okay guys, so as you can see today went as planned. I was really inspired by this chiropractor and I was hoping that he could share his passion with me, the way he deals with patients, and he can somewhat mentor me. The good news is he did agree, so it's looking up for me. At the end of the day, all I can say is push through, pursue whatever you want to do, no matter where you come from. It doesn't define who you are, it's what you make out of it. So like they would say, pressure, push up, panda.
Congratulations Neerasha. Re ithutile go tswa go wena gore ha o le motho o tlameya go itjwetsa re mabaka gore o atlehe a mangata o fitisisa mabaka gore o hlolehe. Potso ya rona ya beke ena e tswa ko Ntombozuko. A re yena o batla go ba setima mollo. Makala a ditima mollo a mangata. O tlameya o etsa di-course, o etse di-training. Ha o etsa seo o sebetsa ka thata, o tla nyoloha ka potlako. O lokela gore o bane le grade 12, o itekanele mmeleng, o bane le driver's license, o bane le dilemo di le 18 kapa ka godimo. Tjhakela fire department e leng haufinyana le moo leng teng. Kapa sheba di-newspaper tse tshwanang le City Press moo o tla fumanang di-post tsa mmuso kapa tsa masepala. Ha e ka ba hona le ho sa o fumanang, hopola o tjhakela Facebook kapa website ya rona. Ke emetse ya hao potso.
Nisa ngisho naye ke uNeerasha bafethu basibulile laphana aqondanisa imiqolo bafethu kuyacaca ukuthi intokazi inawo umqondo nobuchopho ke bokunqoba bafethu basithi halala kuyena kodwa ngiyabona laphana ukuthi amakhanda aqinile bafethu khona into ehleli la kuqheqheqo so awuthi ngincede nginikeze impilo lethu laphana ku Jumble bafethu igama kade silifuna FEMA yilona ke ithambo elikhulu elide eliqinile ukwadlula wonke amathambo esinawo emzimbeni uyabona uma uyithulile ukunqo uhamba phambili uma ke ungayitholanga ngithi awuqabaqaba ngamafu sesebona kuviki elizayo mina komfana kaMntambo ngidonsa zonke intambo sengiphuma kanje uyaxhumana nathi kanjani bafethu on our social media sikhona and also on our website and on YouTube bafethu but until next week ngizohlala ngitshela ngithi press push up panda ungaphela umoya faka umoya and remember don't look down look up and stay up or you'll be slipping and falling and you can't get up you'll be slipping and falling you got to get up